Hello students, I hope you all are doing good. Welcome to the session of air and water. Today we will understand about two important elements on earth for our living, air and water. Let's start with air. Atmosphere. Our earth is surrounded by a blanket of layer. This is called as atmosphere. The place where there is no air is known as space. Oxygen is present in atmosphere for our survival. Carbon dioxide is also present in our atmosphere for survival of plants. Atmosphere maintains the temperature of the earth. It also protects us from harmful UV rays. UV ray stands for ultraviolet rays. Let us understand the composition of air. Let us understand composition of air. Air is made up of many gases. Basically, it is made up of nitrogen, oxygen, and 1% of carbon dioxide and other gases. The amount of nitrogen is 78%, the amount of oxygen is 21%, and the rest 1% contains carbon dioxide, argon, neon, and other gases. Oxygen is the most important gas in our air. All living beings need oxygen. Oxygen also needs for burning of fuel. Nitrogen is an important constituent of protein. So proteins are needed by plants for us. Carbon dioxide is essential for plants for the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their own food. We all get food directly or indirectly from plants. So carbon dioxide is also very important constituent of air. Next, water vapor. Water vapor is also present in air, as I told you in the composition of air. Water vapor determines the condition of weather in an area. The excess water vapor in air is called as humidity. During humid days, our body feels sticky. आपको लगता है ना कभी बहुत ज़्यादा चिपचिपा हो रहा है? That are humid days. All the other gases have some uses, like neon and argon are used in bulbs. Absence of air or any other matter at a particular place is called as vacuum. Next comes up properties of air. Air की क्या-क्या properties होती हैं? Air की three properties हैं basically. Air occupies space. Air जो है space लेता है. For example, जब भी आप balloon blow करते हैं या हम tire blow करते हैं तो वो बड़ा हो जाता है. Why? Because air उसके अंदर भर गई है. This is the example of air occupies space, because when you put air in the bicycle tire or balloon, it becomes bigger. Okay, so this process of filling air into expandable substance is called as inflation. The next property of air is air has weight. Air has weight. Let us compare two footballs. One is inflated and the other is deflated. When you compare two footballs, you will feel one of them is heavy. This is because air has its weight. Air has its weight. Next comes up air exerts pressure. We have learned that air occupies space and has mass. Anything that has mass exerts pressure. So air also exerts pressure. On our body as well, air is constantly exerting pressure. But we cannot feel this because pressure is from all sides of the body. All sides of the body. Let us go forward and understand air pollution. Addition of undesired and harmful substances in air is called as air pollution. The harmful substances are called as pollutants. The main pollutants of air are carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, etc. They cause acid rain on combining rainwater or water vapor. This rain is harmful for plants, buildings, etc. Let's go forward and understand other important element, that is water. Water is essential for our life. We cannot live without water. It is possible to live without food for few days, but we cannot live without water even a day. About 70% of a human body is made up of water. Several organisms take life in water only. Water is made up of two atoms of hydrogen. Hydrogen is denoted by H. So it is made up of two atoms of hydrogen, H2, and one atom of oxygen. Oxygen is denoted by O. So, okay, so the representation of water is also known as H2O. Properties of water. Water also has some properties. The first is water is colorless, water is tasteless, and water is odorless. ना water के पास कोई अपनी taste है, ना smell है, और ना ही color है. It freezes at 0 degree and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. You know, water is called as universal solvent because it can dissolve large number of substances. Next comes up water pollution. Water is said to be polluted when it contains impurities. The impure water is harmful for everybody, animals, plants, and environment. These impurities can be of two types: soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. Impurities that dissolve in water are called as soluble impurities. For example, salts, minerals, etc. Next is insoluble impurities, which means they do not dissolve in water. For example, small stones, sand, mud, etc. Following are some causes of water pollution. Water pollution caused by various factors. Let us understand some. Disposal of waste materials from homes and factories into water, which is very wrong. We do not dispose our waste materials into water. Washing of chemical fertilizers and pesticides from the fields into the water bodies. Let us understand purification of water. हम water को purify कैसे कर सकते हैं? Polluted water may contain many impurities, as we know, like lead, mercury, sand, germs, bacteria, etc. So all harmful impurities and germs should be removed from our water before consuming it. Like before drinking, we should clean the water. How we can do that? Removal of soluble impurities. Impurities which are dissolved in water. First process is evaporation. It is a process to remove soluble impurities from water. In this, we heat the water solution containing the soluble impurities like salt. After some time, the water is evaporated and the left behind is impurities, which is salt. Next comes up distillation. In evaporation, we can purify impure water, mix it with soluble, right? But in distillation, we can get impurities as well as pure water. In this process, contaminated water is heated in the flax. After some time, water changes into steam and impurities are left behind in the flax. This steam passes through a condenser. Here it cools down and converts into water. This water can be used in medicines, car batteries, etc. Distillation is the best method of getting pure water. Next comes up removal of insoluble impurities. There are two methods of removing insoluble impurities. Insoluble impurities means which do not get dissolved in water. The first method is sedimentation and deconation. Water with insoluble impurities is kept undisturbed for some time. Impurities get settled down and water comes up. After some time, this can be separated slowly by pouring out the water into a clean container. As you can see this process by this picture, sediments are settled down and the clean water is pouring out separately in a different container. Next comes up filtration. Separation of insoluble impurities with the help of filter paper or filtering medium is known as filtration. For filtration, filter paper should be used. Purification of drinking water. Water which is fit for our drinking is known as potable water. Here are some methods of purifying drinking water. First is boiling. We should drink boiled water. We should drink boiled water. Boiling kills the germs present in water. It is the simplest and inexpensive method to purify water. Next comes a chlorination. We can use chlorine tablets in water to kill the germs. It should be added in very small quantities. Chlorine tablets are also added to swimming pools to clean the water. Water purifier. Water purifiers or filter water have ultraviolet rays tubes in it which kills the germs and make our water fit for drinking. Next, conserve water. Water is an important resource. It is a life supporter. So we should not waste it anyway. Take water in a bucket while bathing. Do not use shower. Do not wash fruits and vegetables with plenty of water. Take water for drinking as much as you need. Store water in a clean and covered containers. Turn off the tap when you do not use that. For example, जब भी आप ब्रश करते हैं तो टैप आप क्लोज करके ब्रश किया करें. Do not waste the water. Water is very important for us and for our future generations. That's all, students, for this chapter. I hope you understood about air and water. We'll meet you all in the next session.